The room was electric before a single word was spoken. The hearing chamber was packed with reporters, staffers, and curious onlookers, all waiting for the inevitable clash that was about to unfold. At the center of it all sat two figures who could not have been more different in their approach: a Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett, known for her fiery personality and razor-sharp tongue, and Senator John Kennedy, the Louisiana lawmaker famous for his down-home wit and ability to cut through chaos with humor sharper than a blade. Everyone knew something explosive was about to happen, but no one could have predicted just how unforgettable it would be. The tension rose when Jasmine leaned forward, her eyes locked on Kennedy. Her voice sliced through the air like a whip. "Senator Kennedy, with all due respect, your arguments are outdated, your policies are harmful, and your so-called wisdom is nothing but tired copyright s. The people are tired of being talked down to. Maybe it's time you step aside and let real leadership take over." The audience gasped. The attack wasn't just bold-up, it was personal. Cameras zoomed in, catching every flicker of emotion across Kennedy's face. But instead of flinching, instead of snapping back with anger, Kennedy folded his hands and gave the slightest grin, the kind that only someone truly confident could manage. He let the silence linger, stretching long enough to make Crockett shift uneasily in her chair. Then, in that unmistakable Southern drawl, Kennedy finally spoke. "Congresswoman, I've been called a lot of things in my life, most of them by people smarter than me. But I'll tell you what I learned growing up: when somebody spends more time hollering than listening, chances are their scared folks won't like what they actually have to say." The chamber erupted in laughter and applause. Crockett's sharp posture softened for a split second, her lips tightening as she tried to regain control. She fired back quickly, doubling down with statistics and fiery accusations, hoping to drown out the sting of Kennedy's words. But Kennedy stayed calm, responding not with more fire, but with clarity and patience. "You say my arguments are outdated," he continued. "Well, I believe in the Constitution, I believe in accountability, and I believe in treating people with decency, even when they don't return the favor. If that makes me outdated, then maybe what this country needs is a little more outdated." The crowd shifted. Reporters scribbled furiously in their notebooks, sensing the moment had turned. Kennedy's words weren't just a defense, they were a reminder of values that resonated with many listening, values that cut deeper than political divides. Crockett, for once, seemed caught off guard. Her rapid-fire comeback slowed, her confidence waning in the face of Kennedy's calm resolve. Then came the moment that sealed the exchange into legend. Kennedy leaned forward, his tone softer, more human. "Congresswoman, I don't doubt your passion, I really don't. But passion without perspective is just noise. And people don't need more noise, they need solutions." The chamber went silent. Crockett opened her mouth to respond but found no words. Her shoulders dropped slightly, and for the first time, the fire in her eyes dimmed. Kennedy had not just rebutted her, he had disarmed her. What followed wasn't victory laps or gloating. Instead, Kennedy shifted the conversation back to the issues at hand, speaking about the struggles of ordinary Americans: the farmer trying to keep his land, the single mother working 2 jobs, the small business owner fighting to survive. His words painted a picture larger than the clash of personalities. It was about people who felt forgotten in the noise of Washington. By the end, even those who had come expecting a verbal brawl walked away with something deeper. Kennedy had shown that strength wasn't always about shouting the loudest. Sometimes, true strength lay in patience, in wit, and in the courage to stand by principles without venom. As reporters rushed to file their stories, the narrative became clear: Jasmine Crockett had attacked, but John Kennedy's epic clapback had delivered with both humor and heart left her speechless. More importantly, it reminded everyone watching that politics, at its best, is not about tearing others down but about standing firm in the values that lift people up. And that was the lasting message. In a world quick to rage, quick to cancel, quick to shout, Kennedy's composure stood out as a lesson that dignity and conviction still had a place in public life. The clash may have been heated, but the takeaway was timeless. When faced with anger, sometimes the most powerful response is calm truth spoken with courage.